Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
We definitely are.
I'm definitely not.
Have y'all came across any of that BLM negativity?
Yeah.
I hear the murmurs in the gym, but I don't say shit. Like, I'm here for the workout.
What's going on?
The murmurs are going on.
Please can you elaborate?
The Association of Protests and Riots is going on with the murmurs of BLM.
Facts.
I was like, yo, brother, I said straight up to him, I was like, look, boss, Black Lives
like,
Matter, all lives matter, no lives matter, it don't matter right now. Just get out my way, brother. You're blocking the rat. You know what I mean? Just don't disrespect me. Be cool. I ain't had time for that.
We're living in a time of civil unrest.
So you ain't wave your black card?
Huh? Man, I ain't want to deal with it, brother. Because I'm gonna go to the extreme, and I just got back in there, so I'm gonna get banned.
No, I'm getting banned. Not yet.
Nah, so
You're brown enough.
Speaking of which, can we do the intro? Cause I got something to say.
Yes, we can. What's good? All right. What's good? Our fake soundboard. This is your girl Drea Ivy, episode number 27 of Ivy Talks, the dopest podcast out of Miami. We about to take over Trina and Drake Daddy show. You know that, right?
Ivy just catching bees locally.
We about to take over now.
I eat at Sunday's Eatery, man. I don't want no pressure.
I mean that in a friendly
I
way.
want no pressure.
I mean that in a friendly way. I'm in a friendly,
Trying to mess up some
competition.
fried ribs, man. You better chill out.
I heard it slaps though.
Yeah.
I'm here sitting alongside my amazing team. What's good, y'all? What's good?
I'm chilling, yo. It's your man Hollow Rock, Lex Rock. I'm over out here doing the thing, doing it live. Episode 27.
Mm-hmm.
27 and all that good stuff.
Okay, all right.
You're really going with the Spanish.
You got to.
Switch your card?
No. I'm bringing the card together. Have you seen what happened in the Heights?
That
The Dominicans.
Afro-Latinas, they
The
together.
Dominicans is recognizing now. They opening their eyes like the Afro-Latino strong. Yeah. The Latino card coming in here.
Hispaniola united
I
now.
think it's being led by Tony Touchstone.
Wait.
Toka Tuesdays.
Before we even get into that, what is that, Greg? How you feeling tonight?
Oh, I'm good. I'm living.
Yeah, you gonna say what's up? Any shout outs? Any shout outs for tonight? Any shout outs we shouting out? Before we get into this real serious episode?
Shout outs. Okay. Real talk though, before the episode starts.
All right.
So my mom's was listening last week.
Oh, man.
Real talk.
Shout out to moms.
Mom's like, Pete, it's very good what y'all saying. It's good. It's good for people to hear, but you need to stop with the N-word.
Okay.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, so
right.
I understand.
Say you can't. You got a voice out there. You got a son.
Hey.
So for moms, I'm not gonna use it no more. You feel me, ma?
You gotta
That's
have,
good.
You gotta have the nigga account.
Yo, for real.
Hey,
Lex,
I love it.
this episode.
Lex, I love it, right? But if I have said this editing videos with Drew, like what over here? Like I'm like, yo, this nigga said nigga like.
Yo, coming from a nigga that says nigga a lot,
Yeah, like,
that nigga says nigga a lot.
I'm like, we have literally paused videos like, yo, you said it like at least 150 times by now.
Nah, but I say it a lot too, so I can't even.
But don't worry, everyone just knows it on me, man.
Nah, I say it a lot, so I can't even hate.
But keep in mind when we do say it is a.
It is.
I mean,
Yeah, there's no hard R's over here.
Definitely.
Nah, but she had to school me, fam. It was like a 10-minute school. Like, yo,
I feel you though.
Can't do that. You got to see. I don't care. Maybe I'm old school. I don't want to hear. I ain't letting nobody call me. You listening? I'm listening. She called me one though while she was talking to me though. So
I like that she's listening though. Shout out to moms.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to the new listeners.
Shout out to the new listeners. The new ones, the old ones.
The old ones, you know.
The first ones, the last ones, however we do it. Shout out to iLive UK, my people out there. They're out there in the UK protesting doing their thing out there too. They are. They're out there in London. Shout out to London.
The statue shit.
They talking about like 5 down.
No, but they about their real results though.
No, they are. Shout out to Music Media Lounge.
They treating them things like what's that movie with Nicolas Cage?
Y'all still on London?
Some treasures, national treasures.
National treasure. They was getting all
They
types
talking
of
about
They
London?
collecting them statues like national treasures. Get
You
rid of
talking
them.
about here or London?
Nah, London. They dumped.
Yeah, London,
Yo, they
but
dragged that
London,
thing
they-
through the city, threw it off the
London, they
bridge.
don't play.
It was
With
crazy.
the protests, when they're protesting,
I think they got rid of
gangster.
Leopold in one of them countries too.
Over there is a little,
In
yeah.
Paris.
Over there is a little wilder because them cops ain't walking around with guns, so
Paris is getting
they got
wild.
time to wild out.
Paris be wild, though. But I think
Yeah.
that's like, Paris got a whole dynamic of people over there who just be ready to go. You got the Africans,
The
Right.
wild
You-
Africans.
You got the sub-Saharan Africans.
They
You
have
got
all
the
the regimes.
Arabians. You know what I mean? Like
France don't be showing minorities no love, even though they got so many of them over
yeah,
there.
They don't actually. They really don't, and they're very racist. but
Yeah.
I still don't know.
France don't show minorities no love over
yeah.
there.
I think
Nah,
we
but-
know how France is. We
Facts.
learn from Haiti.
Nah, but-
drum roll.
Shout out to all the black people making progress over protests. I ain't got time for to be in no area where they can misconstrue what you got going on. I fuck with people that's making real progress and really excelling this message. Like make it happen. Do what you got to do. Put yourself in a situation to really spread the word. Like I tell people all the time, get together in a private location.
Exactly.
That way you get together, even if you got 20,000 people that show up and want to sit there, express your opinion, you got the numbers now. You got the numbers, you get to do whatever you want to do. You in a private location, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. Cops ain't there to fuck with you. Then they can't have no professional protesters, professional rioters show up, because guess what? You on private.
everybody.
You
That's like that
you
Black
in
training.
no, but you in a private location. If somebody sit there and then they want to sit there and do some crazy shit, now you get that nigga out of
Yeah,
there.
but how
Grab
the
it.
protesters ain't slapping or messing nobody up though?
Nah,
That's
because
what I don't get. Like,
but you gotta understand that. Not everybody there is about the cause. Some people there just for that social media post.
yeah.
So that
Exactly.
if you're not there for the cause and you here for the social media post, and then a motherfucker break open the fucking window on the Jordan store, now you in there, boom, now you, because you wasn't about this to begin with, so now you an opportunist over anything, and now but there's too many of those out there.
All right, so
There's
wait.
more
Before
though.
we take even a deeper dive into this, we're elaborating into the protesting of what's going on, the civil unrest around the world due to the murder of George Floyd. I'm pretty sure everybody's heard his name by now. His actual cemetery and burial, I believe, was today. I know the viewing was today and the service was today. So, to anyone who's not been living under a rock, we're discussing the protests that have been incited as a result of his untimely death. That was very unfortunate, and yet another police brutality. So we're back on it, but the protesting is continuing. So are you guys? Which protesting in general are you talking about? Like, are you
Talking about all of them. They have them all over the United States. They have situations. There's a difference between protesting and rioting, and people don't understand that.
Yeah, we have to touch on that.
The difference, the problem is when you have situations.
Peaceful situations.
Yeah, there's peaceful
Right.
situations, but you have, due to the fact that minorities by nature lack organization, so therefore, because they don't have that, you just set up a situation. People don't know how to, because they deal with situations like this, people don't know how to professionally protest. So you guessing. You just say, hey, show up at this location. We'll make this happen. By all means, because there's plenty of people with good intentions.
Right.
But when you take those people and then you have organizations that their job is to make sure this shit don't work out for y'all, they can put 5 people in that 300 people and then fuck up the whole situation.
All right, but you're swaying a little bit, like for the listeners, like
True story.
you're talking about I guess novice protesters, so to speak.
No, yeah, because there's no, yeah, there's no,
Actually, there is novice. Yes.
yeah, there's,
Is it like the
Yes,
yeah, there's people, no, but I'm saying, but you got to understand that there are people that,
No, but is there a class for protesting?
yeah, I classify it as a person that was about this. There's people that
That's
been,
not a class.
Yeah, but-
No, nation is.
Points of training.
no, but
Okay,
there's a
fine,
difference.
not for
I mean,
protesting.
There's people that have
That's why I
been,
don't-
How about training?
I'll let Buddha finish. I'll let
Okay.
you go, and I'll
Okay.
tell you why I don't take the protesting serious.
okay, what I'm saying is there's a difference between, there are people that have been about this their entire adult lives. You know, there's people that
But
been
you're
about
alluding to infiltration.
no, yeah, but I'm not alluding to anything. It's factual. These are it's what's happening. There are people when I say when you're talking about novice protesters, I'm talking about there are also people that just been about the advancement of black people their entire lives. So when you go
Absolutely.
and you have people that are about the advancement of black people their entire lives,
Right.
now
So
you
you're
have
in that.
yeah, so therefore they already protest. They already show up at these places. They're already hitting up legislators. They're already hitting up governors. They're hitting up mayors
Down
already.
to the fact that they
They're
know how to fight. Like they're trained fighters. It gets that deep.
yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
where you're
that's
going with it. But I'm talking about these people. Those are people that protesting is their life. That because of the fact that that's what they want to do. Now you have where you would call novice protesters, where motherfuckers that are just started last Thursday because they seen the post on Facebook and they seen the be here at the that we're meeting up here at the jail at 4:30 or this people that are just social media protesters. So when you have those people, they might say 50% of them may have good intentions just because they feel shit is fucked up. But then you also have other people in which they just want to be there to be able to post it, show they did that. The same motherfuckers on this Blackout Tuesday shit just to show that they participated because of the fact that you get the social media posts. So the people that are there for the social media posts, when somebody comes and then they go to fuck up the whole situation by trying to organize riot, because that's what these are. That's why you see these bricks everywhere. That's why you see these motherfuckers. The niggas that's out here. When you see a motherfucker just dressed casually like I am, he got his little mask on and he got his sign, and there's a difference between the nigga that got the hoodie where the shit is like this. He got a different kind of mask. Motherfucker got gloves on. He got boots on. And he got a fucking then they got the picks, the pulse hammers. They got fucking because they busting windows. Dog, these are not just a casual nigga that's about
dudes just to go out there and mob them up.
Yeah, these are dudes that are not about the cause. So therefore, when you are in public locations, you are very susceptible to those people. When you're in a private location and you can have a gathering, if you want to sit there and pretend like you want to offer up all these things to Black Lives Matter and all this shit, all these motherfuckers that have all these venues, all these billionaires, all these millionaires that have all these venues, host these events where say, hey, if you want to sit there, you want to have your opinion expressed, show up at these locations and people can show up in their numbers and then express their opinion. Therefore, when somebody starts wilding out, you can weed that nigga out and keep it pushing. Same way you would at a concert. If there was 5 niggas that wanted to go crazy in a concert, security would have been got their ass out of there and then called it a day. Nobody would have been like, yo, it's 30,000 people wilding out at the concert. Nah. You get the bullshit niggas out of there, and then you continue on with the message. When you're in a public area, these motherfuckers could weave in and out. They could just pull up with all their bullshit.
But that defies the whole purpose of public outing, public protest.
Why do you need to protest in public when you have social media? How are you finding out about all these events?
I mean, because it's public and it's outside and it's outdoors.
No, it doesn't have. You do not understand that this is not the 50s. Niggas have social media now. You can broadcast. Niggas is doing full concerts online that we talking about. You can't protest online. You can't gather in a private location.
Yes, you can. But you're offering solutions when we're just barely getting to the problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no. I'm talking about now. This is creating the separation between rioters and protesters.
Right.
Because once you create the separation between rioters and protesters, you erase the stigma of what white people perceive, because the word protest and the word riot is hand in hand right now.
Did we ever erase the stigma of what white people perceive about us?
Yeah, but you have to understand that at least you give yourself a fighting chance in the social media eye. I
get that.
When you do that,
spin on media, but
yeah,
I don't think the protesters are serious to the point, because the NOI is not involved.
Yeah.
When I see my man Farrakhan step up, it'll be a whole different protest. I said that a million times. The nation don't play.
Yeah.
all that
Actually,
crap.
I actually was watching an interview earlier.
That
where he
crap
was
shit
talking
that
to
won't happen on
McKinnon.
the nation's watch.
RZA, with RZA.
I've
RZA
been said
Islam?
that. Check
But I
the
was
post.
also
I've
hearing-
been screamed
I
But
was
that.
RZA-
also hearing there's a reason that.
Of
he
course,
hasn't
there's a
gotten
reason he ain't
involved.
touching that.
Exactly.
There's a big reason why
Pause,
he ain't
pause,
out
pause.
there.
Who are you talking about,
The
RZA?
nation.
No, you
Alright,
talking about
well,
I
Farrakhan.
know why.
Alright,
The
well,
minister, Elijah.
RZA Islam is part of
Louis
the
Farrakhan.
NOA. Am I wrong? Alright,
Nah,
well,
I think he's a 5%. I don't think he's a.
well, he claims them, and I was watching an interview he did earlier with Nick Cannon where he was saying that they're actually in the streets, they're actually in the projects, giving food to families,
We're
providing them
talking
with
about protesting or
supplies.
something totally different.
But-
though. They're always doing that.
I mean, they're doing that on the back end. I mean, I guess you're right, but what do you mean? Like, why would them not being involved mean anything? Like,
what are you talking about?
to someone who knows
That-
nothing about what you're saying.
I can't explain the history of the nation like that. They have to go read for themselves and stay woke. But the problem is, half the black community is brainwashed to not appreciate or understand the Nation of Islam
And the message they
the
have.
message, or Farrakhan, or any of the brothers within that
Yeah.
sect.
Right.
Black people are brainwashed not to even believe in a Hajj or Islamic belief. Like
Right.
that's part of the systematic of the man is to
Right.
make sure you don't fall in line with the orchestration of Farrakhan. That's a whole another kind of
Yeah.
entity.
But also
That's
that
like
solves
black-
one of the problems
Yeah.
because with them,
The dumb
their
stuff.
organization is
It's
crazy.
tight, like,
Yeah.
So
you
therefore,
can't do any of
that's
stuff.
the
Like,
thing.
if
You
go to
can't.
that store, I
It's
told you
not
when they
just.
had 'em out,
It's
knock
not
you
fly
down.
by. It's not fly by night shit. They are organized and they are well put together.
You ain't
And-
breaking no lines.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody rioting. Ain't nobody jumping off the sidewalk.
Huh?
Nobody's gonna come and do some antithesis. Like, nah, brother. Like, it's not happening on the watch.
I mean, that's kind of. I mean, the same way you see. I mean, how white people move. Like you see, they move, and it's. It's
The
White-
the
white
nation
people-
move like a nation.
Yeah.
Brother. It's no
Yeah.
different than the military coup. Like,
Yeah.
they move unison like that, brother. Brothers
Right.
is pristine down to the stoop, down to the loafers, brother. You're not scuffing up nothing. No disrespect, but you will get disrespected.
Yeah,
Right.
That's how the nation roll.
it's different.
So all right, but you don't see these protests as important. Okay, now do you see the protests as a positive thing in any light to people who don't know? Say for instance, they
No,
are
not really,
ignorant.
because the message is getting misconstrued. Like, it's not everybody I see protesting or posting different things. None of them are unison of what they're protesting. It's people all out there, but everybody has a different objective of what they think they're protesting and what they think they're there for. So it's foolishness. Like I said before, it's not no justice, no peace. It's if you know structure, you'll know peace, you'll know resolution. It's a whole bunch of movement, but no movement.
Right.
Yeah.
It's moving around and ain't
Yeah,
nobody
so-
doing nothing.
I mean, I personally
Just
just
people
believe
to be out there and say they're out there to be
Yeah.
a part
Exactly.
of history or think they're making an
A
impact.
movement.
Your signs mean nothing, bro.
Yeah, it
Right.
doesn't. It
Your
doesn't
signs
mean
mean nothing. You
The
writing
only-
on the screen means
The only thing
nothing.
that means something
You
is
having a whole bunch of clipped up memes
Yeah.
that the last 5 people on my feed or the last 30 people on my feed circulated.
Exactly.
Cut it out, B. Stop trying to. It's a bunch of people on social media reposting feed, trying to get likes and trying to
Right.
build impressions
yeah.
on their
But you
IG.
can't-
Just to
To get
just to have
some-
people
people
have
like
people
them
that
trying to
that
get
your
some
friends
monetary
think you
kickback.
about it.
All
The
right,
only
but
thing
we
that
can't
really
denounce- we can't denounce that there are some people with good intentions, however ignorant they may be.
but that's what I
But-
that's what I just
Can
said.
I say-
I said I do not doubt that 50% of
Let
them.
me elaborate on that. Can I?
Go ahead.
All right. However ignorant they may be, there are people with good intentions. Now, that's why I say, during this time, I believe that people of color, I believe one of our major responsibilities is to educate ourselves. Like you mentioned earlier, if we don't know anything about the NOI, that if you don't know anything about the Nation of Islam, then it's to be of your due diligence to look up who these people are. Even if you are a younger demographic, it's important to know these things. It's important to know your history. Not what people are telling you, not what people are tweeting, not what you see on social media, because none of that shit matters. We need to learn more about structure. We need to learn more about unity because it wasn't taught to us. Not in school, not in sports, not in any, and even if we get into colorism, which is a whole different direction, but black people and people of color have never been taught to be united. It's just never really been a thing. There's always been a level of separation. Go ahead. You wanna
Now,
say
there's
that?
so much to touch on that.
Yeah.
You saw what's my man's name? The ambulance chaser, Al Sharpton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw him. He wants to try to do a march now.
Oh, gee.
But it's like, come on, brother. Like again, that.
You laid.
Yeah,
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, the only-
I don't know how he keeps getting through the crack or the door, brother.
Because he's what? He's
from back
he's
then.
an informant.
And it's weird though. You haven't seen Jesse Jackson come out.
Yeah. But you have
I
to
haven't seen Jesse come out.
I mean,
But
they might have Jesse on something.
people
just
people have to
saying,
know
who knows?
people have to know that the only thing that drives any progress is money.
Money.
If you want to sit there
Money.
and you want to put your money where your mouth is, instead of protesting and doing all this, invest in black business.
Exactly.
Go sit there and exclusively try to drive those dollars in which you do spend anyway into black businesses. If white people want to sit there, don't tell me you donated $1 million to Black Lives Matter. Tell me exactly. Black Lives Matter, not even.
That's what I'm saying. I think people are just saying that just to make like they're involved in.
Why not
Corporations are
donate
taking-
towards black causes? Why not
Yeah.
open up better schools in black communities, or donate towards something that's actually like you
The
can
same
buy
way they
from
drive,
tangible.
the same way they drive money, same way they drive money into all these colleges, all these alma maters to sit there and make
Exactly,
sure
for what?
that
They already got it.
you have it. Go take that same money and then put it in the schools to sit there and create a generation of black entrepreneurs, black
Exactly.
businessmen,
Black
in order
businesses.
to black businesswomen to be able to sit there and change the mindset and the opportunities in which they have
mindset.
in a generation.
only-
If you
the
just sitting there telling me you over here donating to Colin Kaepernick's camp and all this
dog,
shit,
what does this thing even really do, son? Like,
Dog.
I think that's a farce too.
dog, the Know Your Rights camp. No,
Oh,
what?
geez.
Like how to operate if when you get arrested or some shit? I'm not with it, dog. It's
Know your rights,
that-
Sam? That's what it's called.
huh? It's called Know Your Rights
You
camp.
can you do it on your own and.
No, I don't know, fam.
Yeah,
Like I said, man, if it comes
it's
down
called
to
Know Your
any
Rights,
celebrity that
I
I
don't
feel
buy it.
that is really about what he's about, the only one I
They're
can
not
put
gonna
through,
charge.
the only one I can give it to is Sean Penn. That's
Yeah.
it. Everybody else, Sean Penn lives in shanty shacks in Haiti, dog. He lives on ground zero still.
Yeah.
Out there after the earthquake, like living out there.
Yeah.
Like he's out there. Like they said, like he's out there, what, like 245,
Yeah.
250 days out
Days of
the
the
year.
year, yeah.
Wow.
For 10 years
Yeah. He's about
in
it.
Haiti, ground
It's
zero.
people about it. It's people that
Come on,
do
man.
care.
Like,
There
Yeah.
are people that care about these things. There are people that are
maybe Brad Pitt,
innately-
maybe Angelina at the next piece. I don't know about
Innately-
Oprah.
Yeah.
Oprah want to go build things in Africa instead of
Alright.
America. So I'm like,
My thing is this: there are people that are innately humanitarian, like at heart, at the core, will go to a protest, will go to a function, will donate their time towards helping a situation. But I think we're living in a state of unrest, clearly. But anytime that is popularized and is glamorized the way that this George Floyd situation is, it's just very, it's a little suspicious to me. Because my thing is like, all right, I said this last week, and I don't mean to sound insensitive in saying this, but this is not the first time that a black man gets killed on tape without just cause and is publicized to a major level to where millions of us have to see it, actually hear the man's cries, and actually digest that, and that shit is hard. That's just not cool. Because guess what? His family has to see this. Now, saying that this is all allegedly true. Now, this is not the first time. This has happened over and over again. Now, what is it about this case in particular that has blown it up worldwide to where Floyd Mayweather's paying for funerals? There's protesting.
no, they were Floyd Mayweather. The guy behind Floyd Mayweather's like TMT Music was tight with George Floyd. So they was partners from back then. So the guy in Floyd Mayweather's camp is the homie for George Floyd. So that's why he's taking care of that.
But what's the point of the gold casket?
that ties back to the gold casket ties back to Egyptian times. That's the way the Egyptians used to.
No, that's what they want to say. All right, look.
That's not what they were saying.
That's being regal.
Can I start with
what
the
else is
African
being
man?
buried in gold?
Yo, team.
Yeah, but I'm talking about that's not why they did it.
But that's what it signifies. What else would it signify?
Does the African American claim to North African Egyptians is that really legit?
All
But
right.
the reason why I say, if you look from the African transatlantic slave trade, they say, as history says, the majority of the Africans are from West Africa. So you got from your Mali and all these other places, right? So why do so many people want to hold on to the hierarchy
Egyptian,
of
yeah.
Egyptian of gods and pharaohs and shit?
That's not y'all,
like,
B.
Come on, yeah.
That's
I'm just trying to
no,
say
that's not.
B.
But if you
Ain't
do your
nobody
research,
Egyptian
I tell
and
people this all.
Sumerian
I tell these
and
people
all
all
this
this the
other
time. I'm
stuff,
like,
man.
yeah.
West
I'm like,
African, dog.
I'm like, dude, do your research and understand that all this Egyptian shit, yeah, it's cool because it looks better than what y'all really, what your ancestry would really entail. But nigga, they was not. People do not understand how large Africa is. If
It's
you,
one land.
oh, that's
How
great.
do you
but-
mean-
all right, but that's like saying, okay, that's like saying that.
I get it.
If they're going,
distance,
that's like saying
trying
people
to
are
chase the
coming
rabbits, no.
to the United States. They're coming in on the New York Harbor, right? That's like saying they're kidnapping mad niggas from California and bringing them over.
And you claim
Why?
it's New York
Why
heritage.
would you when there's
But
mad
they-
niggas
but
over
if they're
here
documented as the
in New
first
York?
people with written language, the first.
Nah, it wasn't
Not to
Egyptian,
say
it
that
was
they did-
Sumerian, but still,
Yeah,
that's,
but-
no, that's still
Not to
one
say that they
dictate.
did not progress.
The reason why you don't get that from Africans, because Africans are griots, so we pass down through language, through storytelling.
Right.
So that's one
And
section
but
of
the
Africa.
But the whole premise
Of
of
a griot,
supernatural,
of a speaker.
supernatural being is that's the
That's
whole
what
nother
people
thing.
want it to be.
But that's the stories that have been told.
Yeah, but
Who knows?
but
Like,
their
that's another
belief
thing. Who
system was
knows?
completely
That's-
different.
that's
Their
what I'm
belief,
saying.
The
but
numbers
that,
that have been found.
but
the
that's what I'm
stories
saying,
that
but
have
you have to
been
understand
found,
that-
those are facts, though.
Yes,
what
not to
does
say that
do
these-
with what you see when niggas coming across from the water.
They
Oh,
say-
there I said it.
He's saying that the people that got here, they're not from. The odds of them being from Egypt is highly unlikely. You understand? Not to say that
extreme.
Egypt,
Alright,
not
so
to say
it's
that
extreme,
Egypt,
fam.
not to say that Egypt didn't do
We're not talking
great
about
things.
whether or not we are truly Egyptian. When
But
we're talking
brothers
about
need to stop
what it
running with that,
represents.
though.
They love
What it
claiming that.
represents.
Okay,
Gold.
so what's
Gold
the
represents
okay?
wealth
But
and
what
regalness.
where's the point of representing something that you're not? Like, you get what I'm saying?
You-
That's
you-
false flagging like crazy.
you
Like,
need
how
to
you gonna
ask
go
why.
represent
But also,
a heritage?
but also the same
Who
way.
are you to say that he wasn't a king? Who are
Who?
you to say that he wasn't a
We
king?
ain't talking about that.
That's
He's
different. See? No,
I'm
what
just
I'm saying is the same way y'all have this nigga buried in a solid gold casket. Y'all was not checking for him when he was alive.
And
If
going
all
down.
of y'all was friends with this nigga, I'm talking
And
about
being
Steven
down.
Jackson, niggas from the Money Team, all that. Why weren't y'all checking for this nigga when he was alive? This nigga was a supposed alleged drug addict, felon, doing the most.
Yeah,
all of the and they say all this bullshit. But why y'all wasn't? But I'm saying is why y'all wasn't checking for the nigga when he's alive? Why y'all checking for the nigga when it's popular? I hate the don't jump on when it's convenient. Check for the same thing.
That's how the community is.
Yeah.
Brother. We love you when you're hot.
Don't put me in a
Benefit.
don't put me in a solid gold casket when I die, B, when you wouldn't throw a nigga 500 when I was alive.
Facts.
You throwing 84,000 like it ain't shit, but you wouldn't throw me 500 when I was alive. Niggas couldn't put the nigga up in a crib. Y'all couldn't have the nigga in a halfway house. Y'all, not one of y'all took care of the nigga, and he knew a couple
But I think
celebrities.
it's supposed. It's
So
meant
don't-
to represent. It's meant to represent.
No.
Alright, no, listen.
Yeah, he was living different.
I mean, no, for real though, it's meant to. But what it's meant to
You
represent.
got a mic, Jay.
Nah, he was throwing that on the slide. That's fine.
No, pause. Pause. Alright, listen, pause. It's meant to represent. He's supposed to represent a beacon of change. So him being buried, and you know Floyd Mayweather is flamboyant. This is not anything crazy.
Yeah, but
Dude, you want to check
It's
in?
meant to symbolize something
Take a call.
greater. Like, you know what I'm
Dude.
saying? Like, what?
We're going to take a call.
We're
Shut
taking a
up.
call? We're taking a call.
Yeah, we're going to.
Oh, all right. That's
All
now.
right, shortly. I'm waiting for him.
Definitely in this
All right,
section
cool.
on the show. But what I'm saying is I think him being buried in gold is just supposed to signify something to us as people of color. To the whole illusion
Can we roll on this?
of what we're doing here, of what's happening here. Jay, you haven't said anything about what's going on. What do you think?
I'm agreeing with
Everything.
what
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
it's
You
overall-
getting there.
Nah, but-
You getting there.
nah, but I'm just not with it when there's so many people that are in affluent situations that don't put their people on, but then once it gets publicized or something happens that's crazy as fuck, then all of a sudden it's, oh, well, I knew the nigga, and yeah, whatever his family needs, da da da. His family been there the whole time. This nigga done had a daughter for a minute, B. Y'all wasn't checking for his daughter
Straight
then.
now, though.
Yeah,
Straight.
but that's what I'm saying.
All
But
depends
don't
who
act
you're
like it's a
talking to.
newborn. Don't act like it's a newborn kid. That nigga had done had a daughter for a minute. Y'all wasn't checking for her.
Ain't it crazy that they had a footage of?
Hit the mic.
You get me?
Yeah,
Yeah, ain't it crazy that they have footage of his daughter saying like, "My daddy's gonna change the world."
That shit scripted as hell, dog. Shit look like a
Right.
commercial,
At
B.
the end,
It might as well.
Exactly.
Y'all might as well have background music when y'all did that shit.
What's up?
Exactly.
What are you
Nobody
saying?
says that.
I'm
The
not
daughters on
It was
Steven Jackson.
Stephen Jackson. The shit was Stephen Jackson worked for a television station. He
Okay.
got a successful podcast.
Right.
Don't he got a production team? Don't tell me that wasn't scripted. The nigga had her on the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
He had George Floyd's daughter on his shoulders, and then they was at a protest, and she's looking at the protest, and then he's holding her arms up in the air, and she goes, "My daddy changed the world."
Yeah.
Nigga, what? What kid talks like? There's not one kid that talks like that. But you know who does talk like that? Scriptwriter. Yeah,
Commercial.
yeah. That shit is crazy.
That's called
Here's some
PR
other-
marketing.
Here's some other. So then his like second grade teacher was talking about like, he wanted to be like a civil rights something.
Oh
He was
my
a civil
God.
All right, wait.
Yeah, like,
I hate that shit.
Everybody want their shine time.
Let me bring it back. So now, where are we going? Are we going into the conspiracy bag zone?
No, it's not a conspiracy fact.
Conspiracy.
It's
funny
it's
shit
facts.
surrounding him.
It's facts. People do not understand that there are times in which unfortunate or grimy ass shit happens to regular ass people. B. A nigga don't have to be a superhero for some crazy shit to have happened to him. He didn't have to be an activist.
Yeah,
Dog, if a nigga gets cold-bloodedly murdered, it could just be fucked up. A nigga could just work at a gas station, get killed in a crazy ass way, and then it still be impactful. They don't have to make you a superhero for you to be in a situation to go, okay, yo, you know what? Damn, the shit was fucking unfortunate, and it brought about a certain change because it is obviously progressing in a certain way, whether it be positive or not.
Can we get down to the changes that's happening?
Yeah.
But all I ask is, are black people better off now?
Well,
No.
let's talk about that.
Okay, so if they not, why you wasting my time?
All
All
right,
right, man. Look, I'm gonna say something real talk on the looting. Look,
Let's get on the looting.
I don't go out and protest. I ain't a thief or nothing. But if a situation happens and the right store gets knocked, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so
I don't know,
let's
like-
all right, let's be immature
I
for a
may get
minute.
tempted. You know what I mean? It's just
Let's be immature for a minute.
Jay.
Jay,
Jay, don't want to say that.
Come on, Jay. Come on. Let's. All right, so let's be
I want
immature.
things too.
Facts. Dog, all I'm saying is I was in Best Buy a couple years ago. No, I'm saying I was in Best Buy a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? Chilling. I'm over here looking at the what's name. I was looking for
How
the
you say this story?
yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the Apple Watches and whatever. No, Samsung watches back then. It was a little bit ago.
All right.
The power goes out. Power goes out, right? Power goes out.
Hey, man.
It only it goes from the people just what's going on? It goes from that to all of a sudden you hear mad shuffling. Mad niggas start hitting the door. I'm talking about it was just a grab. It was
That shit was that quick.
it was one of these. It didn't take long for everybody that's waiting in line to all of a sudden they heading through the door.
How they pay?
All right. Guess what? Niggas went from upstanding citizens to rioters real quick. Because,
They came early.
yeah, because by all means,
Got the A in them and it's a
all right, but by all means, people are opportunists by
I ain't the
nature.
dude- Don't be looking at me while I'm in your crib, son. Your shit's good. But in a situation like that, you know what I mean?
Facts.
I ain't gonna touch the shit, but it's like,
I ain't no rioter, but I am an opportunist.
what am I supposed to do?
Facts.
All right, so look.
Come on, I'm trying
all
to pick up and clean up the mess. Some of the stuff that go with me.
Allegedly speaking, all right. Hypothetically, in a hypothetical world, if we were just perusing around the streets, and let's say you could pick 3 storefronts that just happen to break, and you happen to be in front of, and you could loot, which 3 stores would you pick?
Well, that's crazy.
Come
son.
on.
Like, this is
Allegedly,
entrapment.
this is funny. No,
This is not funny. Not with me.
it's not.
That's
You
what-
must not know
It's
about
gonna
me,
be-
huh?
one gonna be the swap.
fantasy
One
world.
gonna be the swap shop because there
fantasy
mad
world.
niggas is it's too many easily.
Fuck is that the swap shop?
No, I'm talking about one. They got crazy amount of electronics running through there, and all readily sellable electronics
Like-
that's unlocked and ready to
Made
be
in Taiwan
unlocked and ready
electronics.
to be sold. Nah, them cell phones is valuable, B. And also on top of that, most of those places is cash only, B, and they keep them right on the premises. And you got jewelry, you got them, you got them jewelry shops like that. It's a one stop. It's a one.
If I make a left on 31st, I go behind the drive-through under the fence.
For those who don't, we're not looking
By the
to.
fire department side.
Listen,
For those who aren't privy to the swap shop is a huge fairground. What is usually really
That's
like
a swap
fairground.
meet.
It's like a swap meet.
it's an organized swap meet.
It's an organized swap meet, and there's lots of precious goods in there. But I will say the owner of the swap shop is doing pretty alright.
It's filthy.
You gotta go big
And
and
he's
go
been
home. You
doing,
gotta
he's
do
been doing
like
pretty
Best
alright for
Buys.
years.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I think I would do the Apple store.
Nah, the Apple store, everything has an Apple ID and you can't use
Yeah,
it.
you killing
Why?
yourself
You can't use
because
number Apple.
everything
Just
is
parts.
tracked. You know what I'm saying?
Just parts.
Yo, the rioters, they stole mad. The rioters hit the Apple store, and then the Apple store, when they hit the Apple store locked all the phones, and then there's a message that came up on the phones that said, we know you stole this phone. Please return it to this location. You are being checked. And then you being tracked. Motherfuckers was like, they was getting them out of there. Nah, Apple is serious about their shit. You better go steal mad Samsungs. Them Samsungs.
Rolex store?
Yeah.
When
they hit
they had all the Rolex away. There was no Rolexes.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing about jewelry.
It was mad boxes.
That's what they say.
No, but they hit the Icebox.
I think
They hit the Icebox store, but they said Icebox be selling that fake jewelry.
Icebox be selling
I
fake
think
shit.
the Rollie just gave that bluff to deter other people from taking other Rolex to stores. Like, there was empty boxes. Be like, nah, son.
Nah.
Y'all took the L that day,
Right.
and y'all try to play it off.
They probably got
It's no different than the corporations, like that Jeff Bezos
Right.
want to air out.
Right.
Personally, I'm happy I don't have cut it out, B. I'm just trying to play the safe card to keep black businesses and not get blacklash.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of backlashes. Backlash is what we're going to call it.
So how long do we foresee this happening, and what do we actually really see coming as a change?
I think it's gonna. I think it's
change coming from this.
once this COVID shit is over with 100%, and people can freely roam. I feel like once people can freely roam and hit the streets and wild out, they're gonna be done with this shit. And this shit is gonna be the same way it was
But
done.
they're doing it anyway. People are rolling around.
Nah, it ain't the same. It ain't the same when they still restricting you. When they let you run free, I'm talking about when niggas could get in the club and still wild out. A bitch could grind on you, and then you get back to the club days. Yeah, the strip club is a stress reliever, B. All right, for a lot of people, it's an outlet.
I don't blame.
It's essential workers. Don't. That's what I'm saying.
They
I'm talking about
what for Eric Gardner.
Yeah.
New York. So
And I-
Well, all right. On some serious.
Police can't use that kind of
chokehold,
tactic.
yeah.
It's a
Yes,
felony.
yeah, they
But
actually
did
are.
you hear
The
on
chokeholds
some
would-
passing laws real quick?
They
Yeah.
are.
Right?
All
Jay.
the states.
Y'all heard that they passing laws to
Vaccinate kids.
Nah, it's
Pull your
about
kids
to be
away from
illegal.
COVID?
It's about to be illegal to videotape cops.
Illegal.
Yeah.
When they want to
When they dealing with situations, it's about to be illegal to videotape.
Where?
cops.
What
when
state?
they want to
I'm
be
gonna get
banned.
this. Give me a second.
All right.
That's crazy.
You heard
That'll
that
be a
thing?
big one, though.
How they're
That'll be a
trying to
big one. That'll be a crazy.
Newborn kids are trying to pull them away for double COVID test to take your kid away from the parents and do mandatory vaccination.
Yeah, they were talking about that.
Well, I think we already had a feeling that might be where it's going. And
They already got rid of
it's not optional.
They already got rid of what's the name?
It's imperative.
No, it's essential. They
essential.
already got rid of you can't even opt out anymore.
Oh, yeah, in certain
Y'all
places
better
with the
stop
religious
signing.
exemption.
Yeah, you can't even religiously opt out.
Stop signing birth certificates. Go have them overseas.
Facts.
Get the
Yeah.
papers straight.
True.
America, like for those of our UK listeners,
What do you call it? Birth mom?
Yeah.
Midwife? Better have them at the house.
Yeah, go get you a doula real quick.
Let's talk for real. Let's talk into our international listeners. The U.S. is not what people think it is, man. Like this is honestly like
Listen,
probably the
the
craziest
U.S.
thing.
is everything you imagine if you're white.
Listen,
If you're white, it's
Say,
fucked.
hey,
people say,
It's
but
everything you would
but
ever
listen,
dreamed of, but if not,
it's not to say that niggas is not going through strife in other spots, B.
Of course, but
Not-
it's
not
It ain't-
just not like
It ain't what.
the
Listen,
US, even the economy.
it ain't as
really,
glamorous.
There's just so much.
it ain't as glamorous as you think it is. But the passing time through the oppression is still pretty. You can still have a good time.
I mean, of course,
You can still have
a good time.
you can still have a good time passing
You can have
time
a
through
good
this
time
oppression.
How y'all feel about the Buffalo police quitting for pushing Grandpa down? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the whole
that's
squad
crazy.
quit.
I mean, maybe they. I'm not
That
sure.
just shows you wasn't good
Who
cops.
knows
at.
what, who knows
Yeah.
Oh, but see, that's the thing. Also, in some of these law changes that they're trying to pass, some of it is going to be touching certain cops' pensions and certain.
It's supposed to.
Yeah, they want to get into their pensions due to certain legal fees if they get caught up in any kind
Of course.
trouble. They want to dig into their pensions to pay for legal fees. They want to like take apart certain unions and take apart certain unfair laws and you know like they're trying to get strict on these cops.
But I feel like this is what needs to happen outside of these stupid ass protests, outside of all the extracurricular bullshit. There needs to be implemented change, not necessarily where you over here not funding these police officers not anymore because that's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
You're not taking away police, period, because it is such a stupid concept because you have to understand that United States wide there will always be some level of authority. If they get rid of the police, you have to understand that what they will do is go ahead and move the Coast Guard, Army, whoever it will be, and give them local bases to where they will patrol your neighborhood and they will patrol your city. So now you went and took away from where you worrying about local police. Now you have heavily armed fucking army everywhere. But y'all was fighting against, they bringing tanks in here, they doing all this. But then you want to get rid of the cops so then you can have the fucking army at your shit? I'm good. I'm not with it.
And then on top of it, with the army thing, like, I was listening to somebody that was saying if you want to know what's going to happen in the United States in the next 10 years, you just got to look at what's going on in China and everything like that. Right? So now China and them is already on
China be having a lockdown though.
They on the chip already, but here's how the chip work, right? So now with the chip is going to monitor like your behavior, right?
Yeah, no, they
You know what I'm
the
saying?
cameras they have.
Yeah, like so, but like
and you
if
get social credit.
Right, so now if your social credit is low, now you
can't
can't
even take a
travel,
bus, dog. You
can't
can't
do
leave the
nothing.
country.
Yeah.
They got that now,
You
son.
don't
That's
want
what the
that
whole
out
COVID joint is.
But that's the
That's
whole
what we
point.
say- that's what
You
we
know what
saying.
that listen, I
It's
want to be
already-
able to I
Mark
want
of the
to
beast, homie.
I want to be able to commit. I want to be able to commit my sins in private,
You know what I'm saying?
and then do as I please in public. But they don't understand when you.
even the simple man that just
chill
out on his wife and shit.
Yeah, he can't even do it. Yeah, cheating out the window now.
I'm saying this. I'm saying this.
Yeah. And you looking at a simple problem. Yeah.
20 years, it ain't gonna be politicians running it, G. It's gonna be
yeah.
technology, son.
Oh, yeah.
So your
You might not
Secretary
even
of
have
Defense, dog.
Yeah.
Your Secretary of Defense is gonna be like a Google, fam.
Yeah.
Right.
Like your Department of Treasury is gonna be like a Facebook, dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
to that.
this presidential election
Come
shit
on,
is-
man.
is
They need
like
to take
they
it.
all together.
They need to take it and change the way that they handle these situations because people not fighting. These things are gonna occur. You understand? A cop is gonna kill a person. It's gonna occur, period, because it's human. It's human to human interaction.
In Jersey.
The way they need to change it is the conviction rate for the fact of a person. A police officer killing a person should be somewhere in the range of convictions, the same way a regular person killing a regular person has that conviction rate.
Depending on the circumstance, of course.
Yes, I understand
Hey,
that.
Whoa. Y'all remember Demolition Man?
Yeah,
Yeah, with Sylvester
Where they
Stallone.
couldn't use guns anymore?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that happened.
So
I
the
don't
thing
think
is-
so. I don't think I
Here's the
ever.
thing.
I don't think
Because keep
so.
in mind, you know, with the world going towards martial law, right? Like that's kind of like what they would like to happen.
Yeah,
You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So that's why there's this whole give back your guns type of situation. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers is giving back their guns.
They
Like,
stupid as hell.
willingly
Right.
giving back
go
their
get
guns.
more guns.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like
Every time,
exactly.
I'm telling you, all I'm saying is every time I hit up these spots,
They sold out.
white people is copping more gun. You go to the range, you go to the range. They copping more guns by the day. They go into these areas, they copping more. So if they're copping more guns, what you doing handing your shit in?
Yeah, you can't be getting
You bugging. Listen, get you a legal firearm.
right and learn how to
A
shoot.
registered firearm, guys.
Go get you a legal firearm, and then do what you got to do. Protect yourself. I tell them all the time. I'm an advocate for stay strapped.
This is for
Anybody.
ladies.
Yeah.
This is for if you got kids. They like. Unfortunately, like you kind of got to show them how to shoot.
Yeah.
At this point,
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause
They play these games because guess what? These white kids is at the range, dog. They got these kids. They in the woods right now with these. They got these targets built up, and they teaching them how to shoot these rifles, how to load the gun, how to clean it, how to do the most. But yet
and they
you
show
over
how-
here,
they show
yeah.
how to get the kill off on these days and shit.
I'm
So
talking about,
when
yo.
they get the kill off for real. It ain't gonna be like it's their first time.
I go chill, yo.
It's already a conditioning that's.
I go chill. Back in the day, I used to go chill, hang out at my white friend's house. Dog, kitchen, right there on the facing the door. The kitchen was facing the front door. Dog, 45 on the shit was right there, dog. Chilling there like it was a fucking plate. A plate in the kitchen, dog. That shit was chilling there. And it was there every time. Every time I go to this nigga house and chill, that shit is sitting there. Guess what? That nigga, them kids didn't grab. He was like, yeah, but he done took us out. He done showed us how to shoot it. He was like, yo, anybody come through that door?
Right.
Boom. You know where it is.
Exactly.
Dog, we was like 12. So I'm saying at 12, this mother, bitch, I'm looking at it like, nigga, that's a gun, nigga.
Right.
They're looking at it like, yo, if anything ever happened, yeah, that 12-year-old, he's ready. So therefore, that shows you the mindset of how.
That's for how they all.
But that's the whole point. You need to understand that.
Like hot dogs and potato chips.
Yeah, you need to understand that it all changes in the mindset. You have to understand that if you expose a child to something and then you let them know that this is how it should be used, these are circumstances in which it should be used, you eliminate those situations in which they sitting there playing with it, doing the most, shooting because they're not curious about it no more. When you're not curious about it no more, they don't worry about that shit no more. Dog, you know that's what I'm saying. Even my daughter, about to be 10 years old. I've already had her in the car because she's tall, dog, 5 foot something. She's already there. You know what I'm saying? She already reached the fucking pedals. I've had her in the car. Isolated situation. Pull her aside and go, listen, if there's ever a situation in which some shit occurs in which you have to be able to handle this vehicle, this is how you do it.
Right.
She knows. She's gotten far better with it. About to be 10 years old, already far better with it. She not out here going, yo, let me drive the car. Hey, when I'm going to do... No, she not out here pulling up in the yard, over here turning the key on. No, because you want to know why? Shorty knows that she's not curious about the shit no more. She's not looking at it. She's not one of those kids that's over here like, whoa, what do these do? What do these... Nah, you've done it. You've experienced it. Therefore, you are knowledgeable about it. You understand where to use it from. It changes your mindset.
Even like adults, literally like adults, no kids in the room or nothing.
Yeah.
If there's a gun on the table, half the adults in that room is freaked out.
Yeah, they have no idea. Because most of those adults never held a gun in their life.
Right.
Yeah.
Nervous is the whole problem and shit.
Yeah, so it's different.
That means you're already behind the game.
Me growing up, by the time
Homie with the Mac nigga, like,
yeah, so that's different.
Homie was hanging out and homie just had the
in Palm Beach?
Yeah. Like,
but it's different. Like growing up, my brother was in the military. So from the time I was a kid, he was already like, yo, listen. I was probably like 14, 15. He was like, yo, he's in the military by that time when he used to come visit. He already had his guns with him. They was in the house. He's like, yo, he put it on the table. This is how you take it apart. This is how you clean it. This is how you load the clip. This is how you make sure there's a bullet in the barrel. This is how you find out whether or not there's a bullet in the barrel. This is how you shoot it. This is how you hold it. This is how you do it. So you do all these things, and then I preach that because these white people is doing it every day. They kids know how to shoot. They kids know their way around a gun. They kids know their way around a rifle. You can hand me a fucking rifle to this day, but you think I'm gonna be out here knowing how to load the clip and clack, clack, clack? No, I have no idea.
Right.
I'm not
But-
in the front though. I think we're living in an age where that's what we need to do with our.
But you have to be knowledgeable.
You gotta be knowledgeable. You gotta be careful.
We're-
You gotta be knowledgeable. You gotta be responsible about it. You know what I'm saying?
With all that responsibility that we're talking about with gun, what do y'all think about with the gun violence that they said that just happened in Chicago? 18 bodies in a day.
My G, see, since the COVID joint, like Chicago numbers been
Crazy.
retarded.
Yeah.
With the, not from COVID, from the killings.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Nigga, like,
Chicago killing more than the COVID.
son,
But Chicago crazy to
Chicago
begin
been
with.
wild.
Yeah. So it's not. Yeah, they said that's the most bodies in the day though, which is crazy. But
18,
I feel.
it sounds like, I don't know. It sounds to me, it doesn't sound like.
So
it's
what's
a
the
lot.
story? What's the story for
That's
those who don't know?
18. No, but 18 murders. 18 murders.
All right, but what? How did
Yeah,
that
because
happen?
Chicago not that big. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nigga,
And one
that's
thing.
big. That's like literally saying like, nigga, you might go outside and not make it home for sure.
We're talking
Nah, it's
murder. There was
thousands-
2 people murdered on Fort Lauderdale
hundreds
Beach.
of thousands of people out there on the road.
There was 2 people murdered on Fort Lauderdale Beach today.
For what?
They got stabbed.
Up. They got stabbed up.
Damn.
Allegedly. And then there was like a high speed chase on 95.
And then
motherfucker who did the
Out of
stabbing?
state.
apparently they chased them,
Time
flipped the
is
car.
proximity, they think so.
Yeah, they flipped the cops done intercepted,
That's
hit him
what
with the
they
flip.
said, YG.
They flipped the car, got Buddy. I don't know if that's
I'd like to hear more about that story.
Yeah.
The stabbing or the
Yeah,
car
that's-
flipping?
it's a dope.
See, for you to stab somebody, that's
And Fort Lauderdale Beach.
that's like
That's wild.
There's
Yeah.
some passion involved in that.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, you know,
You
what I mean?
crazy.
So,
Normally you
somebody
crazy.
fucked somebody's chick,
Yeah, or something happens.
Something
Oh,
happened.
all right,
Somebody
so-
was
Oh,
racist
never
or something.
have I
It was
been in
something.
a situation where a nigga pulled a
Well,
knife
they're
out.
still investigating, so we gotta wait on the news on that. But you're talking about the 18 murders in 24 hours inside the most violent day in 6 years in Chicago,
Yeah, we said that.
according to the Chicago Sun-Times. All right.
How do you feel about the Trina thing, yo?
That was a good topic to get into.
I
All
feel
right.
like
Should we
Something to
play it?
brief
Do
it.
we play it? Do we play it?
Go ahead, knock it out.
All right. Well, all right. Well, we gonna y'all can probably take it.
All right.
So how y'all feel?
yeah, play it on the laptop. Just put it up.
It's gonna sound better on the phone.
Oh yeah,
So I
that's
can put it up on the mic.
So what y'all feel about the what is it? The New York Police Department? Was he like the police chief or something? The dude was saying,
Oh, when he
like,
was
he's
snapping
getting
off?
called
Yeah.
out by animals in the media.
yeah.
I think he sounds kind of crazy, man.
I think he sounds
Crazy
wild.
what happened.
Especially New York, which is notoriously one of the most corrupt departments, period. Like, as far as New York and California has no place having a conversation about police brutality or racism in that regard. I just think it's crazy. He was being a little outlandish. I think especially with what's going on and everything that's happening, it was kind of wild. He's talking out his ass because you got to understand that when you deal with so much corruption in New York and you deal with so much police brutality, you dealing with the stop and frisk area, the birthplace of stop and frisk, the birthplace of so many just practices. Yeah, so many practices in which they are preached and taught to just be racist or have the indication that black people by nature are not human beings. You understand? That is where I didn't like, even with the Trina thing, that is where I disagreed with it, because you have to be conscious of your words, because anytime you dehumanize minorities in your conversation, when you use the words animals or you use the words all this monsters and all this shit, you have to understand that
The trigger words.
you are preaching into the stigma in which they already perceive.
Right, so let me hear this.
They look at it and then they go. Then white people just hear that kind of shit and they go, "See, there's black people that think they're animals too." Nah, dog, you can't do that. You can't. You can't join. You can't join the winning team, B.
All right,
Like
so
you can't
basically-
do that.
All right, so backstory is Trina and Trick Daddy have a morning show on 99 Jams here in Miami, South
Yeah.
Florida. And basically, Trina went off on a passionate rant, basically describing how she felt about the looting and the riots going on in Miami. And this is what she had to say. Let's see this.
The new coronavirus in Florida. The minute imposed a countrywide curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. And
Damn, trying to do the shit.
She's like, that's cool. That's what she does. Alright, so we don't gotta really play the whole clip. She actually dropped an apology the very next day, so clean up on the PR. Y'all can catch that on your own. The apology was pretty generic in my opinion.
So hold on, I'm confused.
What's up?
What's the debate?
Alright, so the debate was she dropped it. Okay, so she did drop an apology the next day saying that she apologizes, so I guess I should pull it up. For saying that, she spoke passionately about, what was going on in Miami and that she didn't want to offend anybody because people took offense because they said that, oh, okay, so you're calling black people animals instead of focusing on.
I don't think she said black people though.
What she said, she
said
animals.
these people are acting like animals.
So motherfucker, the shoe fit weird.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even engage in that conversation because that's media twisted something.
Where's that mouth? Right. Shoe fit weird though, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's my thing. Like you can cut. Like my thing
so
personally.
Where do we stand on it? Did she sound too aggressive? Did she sound
offensive?
Did she sound like she
said it was a concerning situation.
I don't feel like she said nothing wrong. I feel like that's more of a situation of media trying to switch it into something.
Yeah.
Versus
right.
It's good PR for her because
it's good publicity. It's good publicity.
But I just feel like when you
and the show actually.
You have to. People have to understand that minorities as a platform. You have to understand that you have to be conscious of the way that you address, because of the fact that black people are perceived a certain way. You have to be conscious of the way in which you speak about them, the way that you reference them, and the way that she's talking about that you have to know how the news is portraying this story.
Right.
Yeah.
She's definitely up there.
Yeah.
She's up there.
Yeah, because Trick Daddy about 72.
Jesus.
No, but you have to be conscious in the way that you reference minorities, period. And when you're talking about it, when she's over here talking about, oh, these animals and this, you have to understand how people are going to respond to it, because they're going to key into it, because these are, they're looking at, when you're talking about when these people talk about these, when people talk about these riots, they're not mentioning white people, even though I do see a lot of white people in these. They're not mentioning white people, and they do not perceive white people when you think about what's going on. So therefore,
it's cool for them out there, but they limit on the milk. But for me, with Trina, look, black people need to be accountable for black people.
Yeah,
and us, we gotta be the first ones to call. So if you see some foonery, coonery, buffoonery, fuckery, you gotta call it out, brother. Like, to me. So if you see a dude acting like a fool and an animal and a Sambo and all that, I gotta call it for what it is. People know better.
Right.
So you definitely know our eyes is on us. That's why I don't be going out there, G. I know I'm not gonna contribute anything to this situation. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather be informing y'all, like, man, this ain't the way.
I personally believe, I think she went
left. Troy, what up?
I think she went left a little bit, and it kind of allowed people to kind of enter the statement and misconstrue it even more when she made it about her friend. Because when she said, "Oh, you know, you think it's my girl's store or whatever, my friend's store, they broke it in a Bayside place or whatever," and then when Trick Daddy said, "Oh, well, you always gotta make it personal," and then she's like, "Yeah, it is personal." That's that turning point where somebody could take that statement and really spin it and say like, "Oh, you see, she's only worried about her friend's store instead of worrying about the cause, instead of worrying about Black Lives Matter," and then they amp it up to have something to talk about. So. I mean, her PR team did a good job in, doing the generic apology. I don't think she meant any malice by what she said.
I mean,
I think
because when she's saying
she did take
like,
it personal, but
like to like scratch everything that's going on with that, and to just look at the actual what we saying right now. Like, do we really think that Trina think black people is animals?
No. I mean, some.
No. That's. But that.
I get what she's saying, though. I get what she's saying, man.
But you have to understand.
So to me, like, and she says, like, yo,
I'm not worried about how black people perceive it. I'm worried about how white people agree with it. You understand? Yeah, because you got to understand, I've been in a situation too many times in which you chilling around certain white people and then you can say something that could be perceived as you not liking or you disagreeing with black culture or with the way black people do things. And then you could see that look of acknowledgement in niggas' face like, see? Yeah, he knows where I'm coming from. I hate that. I hate that. So you have to, I'm always conscious of that because of the fact that you have to understand that these motherfuckers this is how they, yeah, totally this is how they do it. Like even the other day, they had a girl, she posted, I guess the video went viral. She's like recording her face, but she talking to her pops or talking to her parents. And she was like, yo, my parents are mad racist. They don't understand what's going on. And So they were talking. So they over there talking. Yeah, I'm not with the bullshit because even the shit that she's talking about was just, it's an ignorant white person talking to another ignorant white person, but they just on two different sides of the spectrum. You understand? Which is all good and great, but it ain't helping us either way. Because guess what? So
I gotta get the slide on.
Yeah, she's not. I don't think she did anything. I don't think she did anything crazy. I just think that she has to. But black people just have to be more conscious
of
how they verbalize things in reference to other black people because white people are looking for a leg up to say that another black person agrees. They don't care. They don't care what you look like. If you come with the same mindset as them, all of a sudden you cool.
Right.
You could come with dreads. You could come with dreads. You could come with dreads, goals, pants sagging, doing the most, and they would have crossed the street away from your ass. But if you had that MAGA hat on, you had to protest like, I fucks with Trump though. All of a sudden they're like, hey, see, he's one of the good ones. All of a sudden they can throw their arm around you and all, take a picture. You ain't threatening no more because you have a common belief, which is their belief.
You perfectly segue into the Kanye.
Yeah, so then you have to understand that you weaponize minorities with certain shit that you say, so you have to be conscious of the way that you approach it. Because not to say that what you're saying, and especially us, because we are all minorities, we can definitely say, yo, that nigga's bugging, or this coon ass nigga, or all types of shit, because you can check it within the community. But that's because of the fact that most people that are perceiving what we have going on are also of the same mindset.
Speaking of cooning and buffooning,
how
does everybody feel about Terry Crews?
Oh, well, let's talk about what
Black supremacy?
Black supremacy, he tweeted out earlier, I have to pull up the exact tweet, but yeah, the whole, basically saying like, we should, in general, he's saying that if we're fighting against one side and the other side being better, then how could we ever be equal? You know what I'm saying? It's about us being equal. If not, then it's technically black supremacy. So like I'm gonna read it like verbatim, but he be bugging out and like randomly.
Yeah, but he
Black
tries to
supremacy, so
cater.
got backlash
He tries to
like
cater to the.
crazy.
He tries to cater to the white people too
Yeah,
much.
yeah. He tries
You-
to shuck and jive.
He trying to keep that check. He got a big ass
Yeah,
family. You know?
yeah. Because that last John,
I mean,
that John
I-
Henry
I-
movie was
Yeah,
trash.
that's what I'm saying.
That John Henry
thing was atrocious.
He took that black check and ran with
Oh,
it.
man.
Listen,
That shit was trash.
I personally
Ludacris
think,
is terrible for that too,
I
man.
personally think he's just doing whatever he can do to be
Cater to the white people.
Cater to the white people and also
Nah, Terry Crews is already.
You know what that gap
Nah,
is?
Terry Crews. Don't get it twisted. Terry Crews in the discussion already. He's already talked about. He's very popular. You know what I'm saying?
but
Like he's getting the bag.
Morris
Period.
talked about-
But he's trying to
Terry Crews is a safe
continue.
Negro.
Yeah, he's trying to continue. He's
He's a real safe.
he's trying to continue in that safe range.
All right.
They
Can
be
we
trying to bring them down. So,
Yeah.
you know
can
what
we
I
name
mean?
top 5 safe Negroes?
Top 5 safe
All right,
Negroes.
we got Terry Crews in there.
Terry Crews, Wayne Brady.
Nah, I think Wayne Brady got the match though.
Nah, Wayne Brady a safe
Oh,
nigga
Wayne
though.
Brady safe.
He walk in the spot and niggas is like, hey, they not worried
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true,
Yeah.
very true. Fine.
Steve Harvey.
He's a coonin before.
That's a coonin ass nigga.
No.
dog.
Steve, you know what Steve is? What's that living color thing where Shorty used to be talking all the trash, but you ain't hear from me?
Yeah.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
what Steve Harvey is, dog.
Yeah.
He'll go say a whole bunch of it's to us, but when he around there, it's a whole
That song and dance. That nigga
switch up.
that nigga soft shoeing quick.
Switch up.
Yeah.
Nah.
Who?
Take that back.
Nah,
Who?
I'm going with the
He's
dude.
an acceptable.
Morgan Freeman.
He's an acceptable.
Nah, Morgan Freeman they about the coonery.
But he's not about the coonery.
Regis and Cassidy after.
Oh, Michael
Michael
Strahan.
Strahan.
Yeah.
That nigga, yeah.
Oh.
He's
Damn.
How y'all feel about Don Lemon though? He back?
Don Lemon.
Don Lemon back?
Dude.
Yeah, that nigga
Nah,
back.
man.
He back in the
Nah,
back.
nah,
He a safe
nah,
Negro,
man, bro.
or he back in the?
He extra saved, dog. His man is white. Like,
Yeah, he's extra safe. He's extra.
Yeah, dog. The gay dude that be doing the hip hop dance videos.
oh.
What's his name?
dog? The workout.
Sean, whatever.
Sean T.
Yeah, Sean
Oh,
T.
that's definitely-
That's a safe.
Is he still around?
That's a
He's
safe.
still around.
That nigga was at a couple of Republican rallies out here. He living
Oh.
there.
Yeah.
He was with his mans at the rally, dog. That nigga living different. That's a safe Negro. He only hang around white people because the moves was not black.
I guess he'll fit though.
The moves was not black.
I am saying if both black and whites don't continue to work together, bad attitudes and resentments can create a dangerous self-righteousness. That's all. That's all.
Shut your ass up. Hug, I'm not with it.
Man, let's get on Kanye, man. What's going on with
What
Kanye?
is going on with Kanye?
What's going on with Kanye?
He was walking with the people the other day.
Yeah. He had to come out.
I think that in Chicago.
Kim let him out. Kim let him out the
I
house.
say a lot more about Kanye than they do a bunch of other artists that's out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
Because Kanye has far more to lose.
Kanye, one of the people though, dog.
Do you
He's
feel?
officially a
What you
billionaire,
mean,
by
one of
the
the
way.
people?
He's officially a billionaire.
Dog, niggas fuck with Kanye, son. Like, we don't put him on that stature, dog, but he's not too far removed. Even though he's far removed, he's still like
He's definitely
Kanye, dog.
He's
You get what I'm saying?
He definitely yeah.
I rock with Kanye all day, every day.
Like, he ain't that too
listen.
hot in the street. Like,
Yeah, and that say a lot. Trust me, that say a lot. Kanye don't have to be out marching with.
He
nobody.
don't.
Nigga, not when you got King K.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? And I got Kim K
I'll
at
be
the crib.
marching in some drawers,
You know
dog.
what
Some
I'm
buns.
And I got Kim K at the crib, and I'm still out here. I'm still out here for real, for real.
But
Like,
he did his mom if he ain't bring Kim K out, dog. Because sometimes when she be coming out to certain things, like send her back.
yeah, it's like
Like,
yeah.
I was about to wait. I was
The
waiting
black
to.
delegation did not ask for.
I was waiting till today.
Dog. Get rid of her.
I was waiting till today to ask you where your boy Kendrick was at, but that nigga came out on the march yesterday.
Oh,
He
he
just
came
came out yesterday.
Yeah, but you know what? But then,
Come on,
when you
B.
got a person like Kanye, come
Yeah,
out and march
you gotta
out
come.
now,
Yeah, now you
now-
gotta. Now you looking
J.
crazy.
Cole's of the world and the country
Yeah.
of the world,
Gotta come out.
They like,
gotta
damn,
come
now I really gotta step
Well,
out.
J. Cole been there. J. Cole been there from jump. So
Right.
I fuck with that. Even though I do believe he's fake humble. You know what I'm saying? The nigga
There we
is
go with the J. Cole fake combo.
nigga just.
Watch out.
There's something about J. Cole that just seems staged to me. Like he seemed like an artificial, like I don't know, an industry plant for the woke community and shit. Like, but
He
It
might be
just-
a little woke. Though.
yeah, but
He
nothing
definitely will.
nothing seemed genuine about. I just it always comes off
I
as
just don't feel like his message changed from the beginning. That's
Yeah.
why I'm
That's
like,
why I
Yeah,
said
they-
so.
no. I'm saying I fuck with it. I fuck with his music,
Rep run at this time.
You
to
would
say
think
what?
so. Well, maybe not yet.
but but
Family Man,
the
Married
fact
Man,
that Kendrick-
Pastor.
the fact that Kendrick doesn't say nothing is what was surprising me because
Speaking of West,
You
it's
put
his
out-
birthday. Happy birthday, Kanye West. It was his birthday, June 9th.
Hey,
Is it?
yeah, I think so.
might have even been the 7th.
It might have been.
Bumper
It
jump.
might have been. It might have been 10 days ago. Who knows?
I'll
Yeah.
fact check.
Nah, but I feel like
Throwback, pre-day.
Right.
I feel like Kendrick. A lot of Kendrick's music depicts these situations.
Of course.
So I don't
Kendrick-
understand why he's not vocal in these situations.
Maybe he's doing the vocalization by being silent. Maybe it's one of those things.
Ah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, y'all being funny.
Maybe I don't need to
Y'all
speak.
being real funny.
No, I'm
I
serious.
get it.
That's the psychology.
Yeah.
No, but
It's like Forrest Gump. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I
but
ain't
that,
gonna say,
but
no,
that
I
I
ain't gonna
do,
do
but
this.
that's what I don't under like. I just want to know if you've been preaching about this all this time. Now it is occurring where
Right.
your voice could be heard 1,000-fold because, yeah, he's popular, but
So
he's
he's
not
dropping this year.
popular.
He has to drop this year.
Yeah, you drop that. You should have been dropped a new track. You
Yeah,
heard
he
that?
should drop- he should
You heard
drop
that?
it.
You heard the Meek Mill coming from other side of America?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard it yet.
I wasn't here for it. B. It was a regular.
That stuff he's been
No,
tweeting.
it was a standard Meek Mill track,
Right.
but he played the.
I don't like woke
He
Meek Mill.
played into the bullshit. It was almost like a track. Nah, but it
doesn't
was
feel authentic.
it was a track it feels like a track he wrote a minute ago and then just released it now. Cause he has the Trump where Trump's like, oh, what do you black people have to lose? You're
That's
you're
hilarious.
50%, your unemployment rate's over 50%, and you have all
Even on
these.
that Trump
Yeah.
comment right there.
It's
right?
kind of woke that he said that though.
Even on the
he brought
Trump
it out
comment,
there.
right?
Yeah,
We ain't like it, but
Right.
they're facts
Did
though.
Trump say something wrong?
no, but that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm trying to say. This
What
is
do
what,
you
and
mean
this is why I
did
keep.
he
This
say
is why I
something?
keep going.
Didn't, but
He
black
didn't.
like people are trying to be
But
all
the
criticized.
media-
the
But he's
media-
wrong for that.
Kanye
But
was it was yesterday.
he's
wasn't it?
speaking.
Yeah.
He's speaking. He's putting it out there. So to me, I appreciate it more to know like whether he's more aware of the situation and confronting it
Right.
than being covert about it and act like it doesn't exist. But I want you to come out here for
It's
to
gonna-
come to
it's
vote for
gonna
me. He's like,
sound
nah,
crazy.
brother. Like this is what's
No,
going
but I
on.
do-
It's gonna
man.
sound
I
crazy.
respect
I
that.
didn't think I said it last week, but
Yeah,
I can more respect a Trump
Hey,
that should give it to me
what's up,
all the way
T-West?
direct to my
Then-
face
Right,
than
exactly.
a person
People
that's
don't understand-
been
Trump gonna
bullied,
win
son.
by a landslide.
I can understand-
All right, now let's talk about it real quick, and then I want to get into Kanye with Trump. But how did y'all feel about that photo op in front of the church where he
Ooh.
took holding the Bible, saying that it's not his Bible but a Bible? Donald Trump. It's like a huge. It was like a huge debacle.
He just held the Bible,
He took the Bible,
took a
it's upside
picture.
down.
I feel like, but I feel like due to the
Yeah,
fact.
Do you really
in
think
front of
that?
the
Do
whole
you really
thing.
think that Trump even knew the Bible was upside down when he was?
Nah.
holding
I
it?
mean, but the
Possible.
that goes to the disrespect.
But the
It's
thing
just-
is,
it's
but what they trying to do is they
Where's
trying to
the
put.
upside down
They trying to
Bible
spin it.
at,
No, but they
man?
trying
Like,
to
what is
no,
that
but what it
shit?
is,
Alright, no,
is they.
it's-
I think if I'm not mistaken, Hitler got a picture or something like that.
With an upside down Bible, yeah.
Man,
Same
a million-
pose, everything.
How many corrupt popes and
Of course.
pedophile
Of
priests
course.
got
So
pictures
what do
of
you,
Bibles
so
in
that's,
their
that's
hands?
Yeah.
the whole point. So what
That's
do
a
we
whole
feel
other
about it? How do
story.
we
Yeah,
feel
We gotta
about
get
it?
into that pedophilia.
I feel like,
But then,
I
listen,
mean, that's a whole nother
you
conversation
believe,
too.
you believe the Pizzagate stuff?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah?
hands down.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
It's
that's
crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all seen that stuff I told you about?
I'm
The cabal
definitely.
thing and all the other
The
things?
cabal, yeah, I'm on all that.
Oh, man,
Yeah,
no,
they-
I'm
no, but they-
getting on this
but-
podcast.
I just feel like Trump saying, "What do you?"
Shut down.
Trump said, "What do you have?"
Gonna make it out.
We haven't even got into music this episode.
But I feel like people saying like Trump going, "What do you have to lose?" is factual.
That's factual.
People have to understand that Democrats have your vote undeniably when you black. Like
Right.
black people don't want to hear nothing else. Like Democrats is looking out for them, B.
Right.
Like not to. I hate to get on political shit, but it's like, dog. Black niggas will fight for Bill Clinton to the death. First black president doing the
Right.
most. Dog, look
And
at
he
what
did it.
look at what that nigga did to the black community.
Right.
That nigga has implemented shit that probably caused your pops and your
Still
pops
locked
pops
up?
to still be locked up to this
Right.
day,
Right.
doing life for
Right.
some shit
3
that wasn't
strikes.
no murder related shit. Just
Right.
niggas was doing life on some shit. That nigga weaponized black culture, had niggas looking like crazy. He invented the super predator,
But because
dog.
he plays
You
the
know,
saxophone,
yeah,
he smokes some
yeah. So it's
weed
like,
in
come
the
on,
soul,
B,
man.
but black
Yeah,
black people, because
exactly.
they just watch certain networks, you swear this nigga was checking. Yeah.
And he had COVID.
Yeah, facts. No, but look at what Bill Clinton, look what Clinton family done to Haiti.
Yeah,
period,
yeah.
dog.
Yeah, man.
T West, we need you, boy. We need you to keep you alive, dog. With
So
Clinton
what?
Foundation did the
T
hate.
West in the building.
Yeah, pretty boy
So-
T West, boy.
Shout out to T
Legend.
West.
So
T
what
West
if-
was good.
He gave me my first radio gig 5 in the same day.
Shout out to T West.
Shout out to T West, Friday.
Full out of the legend in the building. You know what I mean?
So all
That's my
right.
dog nigga got braces on for 15 years, you know what I'm saying? T West.
So Buddha, can you give a little background on the situation with Kanye West regressing or retracting his statements?
All
about
right,
the MAGA
Kanye
act?
said-
real quick, just to laugh a little.
Kanye said that it was a farce. You know what I'm saying? He said that basically he tried to get a meeting with Trump to talk to him. Apparently they wasn't about it. They wasn't scheduling no meetings. They wasn't letting him do anything. But he said once he started doing the advocating for Trump, and then he put the hat on, and then he did the most and all of that, all of a sudden now they scheduled him a meeting. He was in the White House. They do the publication it turned into a whole publicity stunt, had all these networks there
Right.
recording the shit, doing the most. So he said he had to do the coon dance in order to get certain people out of
He
prison.
had to take the hit.
Yeah, so he said he knew he was going to face backlash for it and all that, but he said he was worth it because they ended up getting some good people out of prison and da-da-da-da-da,
He threw Ken K to the pit.
yada, yada, yada. Yeah, all that bullshit. I think it's...
pretty interesting considering the fact that she's going to law school but not really going to law school.
So she going to the White House, man. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
she
You
going
better-
to-
you better
she
walk
going
that
to-
thing, shake that thing, don't wear a thumb, and go in there and get these people free.
Yeah, but
She's doing it though.
Doing it, though.
She's doing it.
She hit the block, man.
but how many people they got out though?
What, 5?
That's what I want to know. That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't know. Can you Google that?
The number, how many people Kim K got freed? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but at the same time, friend. All
I
right,
mean,
but
whatever
it's
number
friend.
it is, it's more than what anybody was
But
doing.
Yeah.
all right, now
You know
if
what I mean?
do we believe that that's true? Do we believe
No.
that? Okay, I don't believe.
I
that
believe
that's
he's
true.
backpedaling, but I believe that
Why?
I
is he
believe-
backpedaling at such a
So when you
convenient
say
time
he was
as well.
backpedaling, you mean that he was originally with Trump?
I believe that he
I
really
think
did.
he's doing what's
I
convenient.
really believe that he just stayed true to what it was prior to Trump running for office. Before Trump ran for office, hip hop niggas was fucking with him heavy, dog.
There was nothing wrong with Trump.
That's what I'm
Mind
saying.
you, even when Trump, like I was saying earlier, even
He
when
was
Trump
using New
said,
York.
"Make America Great Again,"
Yeah.
right? You know,
17
let's be
million.
100%
Listen,
factual, right?
That.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with
that
the
statement.
phrase "Make America Great Again."
Yeah.
Right.
What happens is the media, though, you know what I mean, takes it and attaches.
Why it's not great in the first place?
Yeah,
What's
everything.
great?
The
Slavery?
media, the
What's great?
yeah, exactly.
Women
The
not
media-
having rights?
The media attaches everything to
Yeah,
what it
you-
is. You gotta understand, like the media been trying to take down Trump from the beginning, right? Reason
Yeah.
being is because Trump is shitting on
Exposing
everybody.
yeah,
son.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Like
It's open ended.
Call him out,
like,
son.
exactly.
But you peep what he's doing though. All that protesting and the looting stuff. He's calling out the George Soros and Antifa people.
right.
Exactly.
He calling them out,
When
son.
they came with this COVID bullshit,
Yeah.
that nigga was like, yo,
I
fake
ain't wearing
news.
no
That
mask.
nigga was like, yo, fake news.
I ain't wearing no mask,
But
B.
right, but
Yeah.
when he said it was fake news, everybody got on Trump. What kind of president is this? He's making all of this happen.
Why is he
Da-da-da-da.
He fall
He's not-
victim.
He's not waiting
He's not
for
acting.
yeah. But
Yeah.
then right now, we coming to
No,
find
no.
out that it's fake news.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
now
He
everybody's protesting
fall
stuff
victim
like
to the
that.
same system in which flips they flip everybody's words. You got to understand that you could say anything at any time, and depending on what year it came out or what year they listened to it,
Right.
it could mean completely different things.
Right.
So they flip context constantly. I don't worry about that
Yeah.
because me, period. I don't
If
believe.
it ain't BBC or Al Jazeera,
Yeah.
I watch none of that.
I don't believe politics itself is real to begin with. I
Of course
just
not.
yeah. So I don't got no time for that. You know. So I don't waste my time worrying about how what Trump says about this or what Trump says about that, because that itself is not what impacts you. What impacts you is all this legislation that goes by, all these laws that get passed, all this shit that goes on that's happened, that when Obama was in office, happened when Clinton was in office, happened when Bush was in office. All these things, yeah. People don't understand.
Presidents, like, nigga, that's just a phase.
Yeah,
Like,
that don't do
sometimes-
nothing.
Like once you understand that presidents
Yeah.
are selected, not elected.
Yeah, people
Like,
have to understand that these things, you have to look at all of these things that go on behind the scenes. Why are you worrying about who got a MAGA hat on and who don't got a MAGA hat on, and who was saying this about illegals and doing this about? Worry about all those laws that's passed that's not advertised. That fuck up, yeah, that,
For whatever reason,
But that this is
Trump don't fuck with this Bill Gates and all of that
Yeah.
shit. He's not fucking with it, son.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? All this martial law that they trying to bring in, he ain't fucking with none of that shit, son.
Yeah, for a reason.
Exactly, because they
You
can.
know
They can
what I'm
they
saying?
can
Like we
use
gotta
power.
be clear on what we you know what I mean, what we putting in the office and everything like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
People don't understand that.
Mind you, and he's
They
been
looking
giving
at
some
it.
straight.
Yeah.
Bro.
But you
They
gotta
will
understand-
they'll blindly follow without doing any
But
research.
yeah,
Right.
but
Motherfuckers
that's the
don't
thing.
read.
That's the thing. You
Motherfuckers
gotta
don't look up
understand.
nothing.
You gotta
The reason
understand.
matter of fact, the reason, let's even take the Black Lives Matter movement, right? Like,
Yeah.
if I don't even want to go as far as like 90%, right? But it would be a very high percentage of people that would not be necessarily fucking with that Black Lives Matter movement if they really found out that the homie that run the joint is not like
not even
one of
black.
us. It's like he's
Yeah.
not even black,
He's not even
right?
black.
And and the dude that run it, I can't remember his name. I'll Google it real quick. But he's on both sides. Like he's all over the place and everything.
They fund everything because
But this
their
is the
end
thing.
result.
Hold on, let me squeeze this in here. Like this is the thing. What we're discussing and the conversation that we're having is in essence an advanced conversation. And this is not to knock any listeners or anything or any or any of our viewers. But the thing is, most people do not read. Most people do not search for any kind of information past what they see.
Yeah.
Past what they see on the news or past what they may see.
right.
Yeah, like past nowadays, social media is
Social media is
considered news. So without being the type of person we grew up without that premise of the instant answer. So for us to research or actually look into things is commonplace for us.
Yeah.
But now-
almanacs, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an encyclopedia or
I'm not with it.
library, the
Yeah.
library card catalog, fam,
Like
things
the
that
craziest thing though.
things that we used to look for answers.
Yo,
But
the
kids
crazy-
don't do that.
The
now.
crazy and the
They
crazy
got
part
it.
to look
They
to
think
think about
they do.
is the fact that knowledge is now probably the easiest thing to
That's what I'm
get.
saying.
Right
Yeah.
now.
And
It's far more
But we
accessible than
also
it's
have
ever
the
been.
dumbest generation
Yeah, ever.
right now as well.
Absolutely.
People are statistically dumber every year.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
So you have
And
to,
it's a shame.
yeah. So you have to understand that just because same way bullshit is readily available, real information is readily available.
Readily
If
available.
you look, it's just
Accessible
harder.
all
It's
times.
harder to find because it's not as well funded. So
Exactly.
you have to know that real information is there.
That's why we're here, man. We talk
That's
to
what-
our listeners.
Yeah,
And
we take it back to Marcus Garvey line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, each one teach one is
each one
basically
teaching is exactly what it is.
Yeah,
what it
they-
boils down to. You know what I mean?
I'm all about just advanced. I say advanced black culture, but I usually say advanced minority culture because people have to understand that you have to be unified as non-white.
Right.
If
agree.
non-white people, because they are the ones that are the
All our
most.
sponsors.
No, but I'm saying you have to understand that non-white are the
There's
people
some
that are
great
the
white
most
people out there.
No, there's plenty of. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Like,
you know,
there's
look
plenty
at
of great
that.
white people out there.
Yeah, but we gotta all.
But you have to understand that even those
Say that
people,
all the time.
there are
Yeah, you gotta
definitely
own it.
there's definitely white people that I fuck with heavy. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
exactly.
But through those conversations I've had with them, lets me know how difficult it is for them to perceive
Right.
what goes on
Exactly.
because they don't.
Very hard. Unless
They-
they grow up
That's just
around
it.
us.
That's
White
just a
white
simple
people by
conversation.
nature have no natural predator. They are fearless, dog.
That's why they are
That's
so
why they
fearless.
could step. That's why any situation could go down, and these niggas is like, "Ow, how dare you?" And they over there, they're quick to jump on. But they quick to because they have no fear. They have no fear of consequence.
Right.
Anytime some shit like that will pop off,
That's that
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle joke. Remember that?
yeah.
Dave
But
Chappelle joke?
yeah, the white privilege is the
That is white privilege.
is
Very real.
the lack of a natural predator. You have none. There is no fear. So
Right.
then if you are fearless, you can achieve anything because there's no doubt. There's no doubt. You have no doubt in your mind. The fact that there's just shit. You be chilling with people and then it's like, dog, how many times you been chilling with how many times you chill with a white bitch, right? And then they'll just be hanging out there.
Lex and Jay.
Sorry. No, but I'm saying they wander off. They go. Yeah, but I'm saying they'll wander off and then just be with a random group of motherfuckers, be talking to them and be like, oh, so I went here. Or they'll be telling you a story and you're like, yes, I met this guy and then these 3 guys. And then they were like, hey, we're going to the next spot. You want to slide? And I was like, hell yeah. So I went to the next spot. And then and you like, bitch, I wouldn't even get in a car with 3 niggas that was just like, yo, we go to the next spot. You want to, even if I ain't had a car, bitch.
You ever been smoking a
Yeah.
blunt somewhere and a white
Yeah,
motherfucker
just
walks
come up.
like, yo,
Hey, what's up?
Let me hit that.
Yeah,
Like,
Exactly.
but that's what I'm saying. It
That's
is.
that culture, though, that-
But it is. But the things you are just genetically predisposed to have that fear instilled in you. You have that questioning. You have that doubt. You have that doubt inbred in you.
But at the same time, what's so crazy is they have that viciousness at the same time. That's
Yeah,
the crazy
because
thing about
they
it.
have no fear.
They
If you have
that
no
viciousness
fear,
in them.
if
It's
you have no
innately
fear,
in
you
them.
can wild out any way you like because you have no doubt that it's going to be successful.
Like, it's gonna work. Like,
They
it's
just
not
feel
like
it's
in
gonna.
trouble. It's
They
no-
just feel it's gonna work out.
don't
They
work
just
out
have a
regardless.
the same way they implement that in every avenue in their life. You have to know how many times it has caused you a setback in your life because you doubted yourself, you doubted the outcome, you doubted the way. Because
Exactly.
in yourself, inherently, you have that doubt. You are bred to have that doubt. You are taught to have that doubt. You are taught to question. You are taught to think whether or not you doubt yourself on a daily basis. You doubt your own people. You do all the time. How many motherfuckers do you tell?
Systematic.
How many motherfuckers do you tell? Damn, I'm thinking about creating this, and then your own homeboys, your own niggas you fuck with, will be like, nah, B, don't do that.
Like,
Exactly.
nah,
What
what
if the shit don't work, dog? What you gonna do, nigga? You gonna be broke? What you gonna do? Nah. And then you be talking about you go talk to a random white person you don't even know, and they be like, dude, follow your dreams, bro. Do what
Right.
you should
whatever
do
you
it.
wanna do.
Like
Right.
you
Do
can
whatever you
that
want to
because of the
do.
fact that their mindset is completely different when it comes to these things.
You're
So
oblivious to the
A lot,
things
a
that-
lot of brothers in our community really got animosity though.
Yeah.
man.
I mean, can you
yeah,
really
but
do it?
it's bred, it's inbred. So because it's inbred and
Right.
instilled, you have to understand that instead of doing all this other negative bullshit that they're doing, positively uplift and create and change the mindset in which black people back them, non-white people, minorities, period, back each other because they don't. They create so many different situations in order to segregate themselves when you have to understand that there's only one set of people that's comfortable in this motherfucker and it's not y'all.
Yeah.
As quick as very light-skinned Hispanic motherfuckers because they some of the most racist niggas on the planet, dog. And y'all not even comfortable in this bitch. Y'all not, white people
right.
not fucking with y'all like
Oh, you
that.
talking about the Cubans and shit?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
son,
yeah, yeah.
here's my biggest joke, dog, because it's real. When shit goes down, son, at the end of the world, and there's 2 lines, son.
Right,
White people to the left, black folks to the right.
right.
Let me see your light-skinned Latino ass
Try to
try
step
to
over
jump
there.
over to the left side. No!
Facts.
Yeah, that's when it's
No,
going really good.
it's not happening, son.
Alright. But they don't get
That
it.
way.
But they don't get it. And
Right.
Right.
and they're light skin, white resembling Spanish people are the most racist niggas on the planet.
This is what it is.
You can't tell them they not white.
This is what it is. This is why in certain areas where there's a population of Caucasian Latinos, it works for them to identify as Caucasian.
Yeah.
So you can play that shit in Miami, you can play that shit in New York, dog.
Yeah.
But you can't go to fucking Kansas. You can't go to Wyoming.
Yes, of
play
course.
That shit when it's fucking Luis Castro, dog.
Yeah, you can. I mean,
it doesn't fly that way, son. Because I had a talk with one used to be, his name's Eddie. It's like, no, bro, it's Eduardo. So it works here.
Right.
We had that talk.
We got that
But you know and I know where you from, because you can't do that over in middle of America, homie.
Wyoming.
It's true.
You can't do it in Portland. You can't do it in Wyoming.
And they don't understand that because they feel that skin color somehow makes them superior.
That's a worldwide thing, though. Let's keep it very clear.
Nobody. I didn't say United States. I didn't say United States wide. I said it is a non-white mentality. So they have to understand that if you are not white, you are not comfortable in this bitch. And if you are uncomfortable, you need to change the way shit is approached. You need to change the mindset. You need to change the stigma. You need to understand that, dog, just because I go somewhere and my skin is dark and I got tats and I'm a big nigga, I'm a threatening ass nigga. You understand? So the preconceived notion of where, dog, there's people that will always, they'll see, there could be a white dude that looks very the white equivalent of me, and how you perceive him and how you perceive me, two different ways. No, but how they perceive those two people just off visuals alone is crazy when you don't know either one.
Well,
so
visual cues already are people conditioned to think certain visual cues.
So I'm not worried about these. I'm not worried about these protests. I'm not worried about these riots. Yeah.
For the longest.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I feel like we're at a crossroads.
The welcoming of black people was dehumanized from the jump.
Of course.
From as soon as getting off onto the soil here, it was dehumanized from the jump.
Because the people that were here were dehumanized as well.
Yeah, but people have to understand that they're like, oh well, you guys, why do you keep talking about all this, and why you keep bringing up slavery, why you keep bringing up all this shit? You have to understand that even if you weren't there, people went from being property to being people across a span of hundreds of years. Right. When you go from being property at one point to being if niggas are still in this day fighting to be considered a person.
There's paperwork down there.
So you have to understand that if one time you are not even considered a human being, when at one point you weren't even considered a human being, you have to understand that fucks with the mindset, and there are generations of people.
But it goes back to the thing I said last week, fam. For this group specifically, it doesn't apply to us, but it does apply to us.
Yeah.
Because our background is not from here.
Yeah.
But I have to inherit the bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm a black man in America.
Yeah.
That's why when they have these segregation, when they have these reparation conversations, I'm like, listen, dog, my mom came here first generation and my pops came here first generation. I'm not available to even get these fucking checks, even if it was a thing. I don't care about no fucking reparations, dog. I want to change the way a black mindset is handled, because nobody, even though this Indian niggas is getting cut this bread, they not.
There's no Indians though, son. There's 2% of the country, that's 100%.
Yeah.
But here's my thing though, and that's how I know, to me, and I ain't trying to take anything away, but that's how you know these are the weakest links in the chain.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to go and complain, and say all the hardship and all the shit's unfair, but then you can go and be pacified or with a check or compensation, brother, you are the
that's it.
You're the weakest link, dog. Like, I don't need you on the ship. I don't need you on the boat.
Fact.
I don't need you to go move, because your integrity can be purchased at any time. It goes down to people, dog. If you got a price, homie.
Right.
So you can't go stand on the ship and stand in the grit, dog, when I know at the end of the day, Massa or whoever can come and cut your check and eliminate you and shut you up.
Yeah,
and keep
my
you in the
stance-
corner, dog.
If my stance can be purchased, then what the
That's
fuck
what
you
I'm saying,
fighting?
'cause
What the
basically
fuck you
saying,
fighting for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You beat me up, you chained me, you burned me, you killed my ancestors, you hung us all. So I need some money.
But $100K a year, I'm cool. Then I'll be alright.
Listen,
But that's what I'm
I
saying.
think we're entering. I think ultimately we're entering a time where this is going to be a very revealing time.
Yeah.
So we obviously know that what
don't
needs
think
to
so.
happen. I think it's going to be a revealing time in the sense of something drastic is going to change, and I don't think that we will see that mindset of white supremacy, that notion eradicated
I
in
feel
our
no, it's
lifetime.
always gonna be here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't
It's
think
always-
in our
It's
lifetime we'll
generational.
see
It have to be here.
exactly. You would have to.
You would have to go and do a
Yeah,
genocide
you would
on
have
all
to
those
genocide
people and all that
exactly,
literature.
and
You have to
all
go
of
do a
that.
clean slate. You have to go burn everything,
Completely, and it will never.
erase everything. Go,
You would have to-
go
You would have
It
to
comes
start
from your-
over.
eliminate.
Yeah, it comes from your
People with that
schooling.
But in the
mentality,
meantime,
It's not happening.
but in the meantime, I do believe that people of color need to read up and educate ourselves more. And in the meantime, I do believe that we do need to, spread positive messages amongst each other, have these types of conversations that are empowering. We do need to get our money up, get our credit up, get our businesses up. You know what I'm saying? Build up on our dreams and do the
But
things that
see-
we need to do. Like, we need to empower ourselves.
Yeah, but
Chess
here's
pieces,
the
chess
funny
pieces.
thing. Here's the funny thing though. Talk about black empowerment and chess pieces getting credit up, but guess what?
What's up?
The chessboard is still
Theirs.
exactly. So it's
Whites go
pointless.
first, dog.
But
I get that it's theirs. All I'm saying is
No, I'm saying that's
fucked up game.
that's
We
chess,
gotta-
dog.
we gotta-
White goes first, dog.
'cause-
It's facts.
'cause what I'm trying to say is like this, G. For brothers to get and sisters to get the capital,
Yeah.
but you still want to have to go and utilize the credit scoring through their means.
Yeah.
You still have to go
That's
and get
US, baby, right?
the mortgages through their banks.
Right.
And they're not
Property that they
approving
have.
it.
But you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So the
Right.
only way really is to get all this bread from all these
Yeah.
other people, take your own hard assets, and buy other things that are not in the paper denomination.
They need to
Get
do-
hard assets and go in the middle of America and rebuild everything and just be isolated from that.
They need
But
to
that
do-
can't happen.
They need to do what Atlanta does on a larger scale. The fact that Atlanta has their self-contained black communities, dog, where you have,
great example
if
of
you
that.
if you
An
sit
amazing
there
example of
and
that,
you
actually.
created hubs, if black people got together and created hubs in every city, and you
Right.
sat there and went, listen, oh yeah, motherfucker, listen, they got us living together anyway. They got us all in the same spot anyway. Dog, let's go get this bank together. Now
Exactly.
all of us bank in this bank.
Exactly.
Nigga, you live in this neighborhood. Y'all motherfuckers not going. Y'all don't go. Most motherfuckers don't go within 40 miles of their own home their entire lives. But yet, some reason, y'all motherfuckers act like y'all gotta go bank at Chase because there's one on every corner. Nigga, y'all ain't even on every corner. Y'all don't go nowhere. So if you don't go nowhere, and you could bank at a private bank, a private black-owned bank that's in your neighborhood where you're circulating money within your community. You can go to the black grocery store that's in your community. You can go to all of these spots to sit there. Yeah, to sit there and create these self-contained cities to where you sit there and you have your own bank. You have your own gas station. You have your own grocery store. You have your own school to where now, due to the fact that all of you, to where all of you are invested in your own community, it already enhances the education system because the people that are teaching in the school
That's exactly
care
what
about the
it is.
community that's there because of the fact that they give a fuck about the community because the community is the next generation of motherfuckers that are going to run this whole city. You now create a situation where you are self-sustained. Them motherfuckers will be quick to have to worry about that if it's happening everywhere because it's televised everywhere. You can't destroy it in every city. They could destroy Atlanta, which they're trying to do now, because of the fact that the way black money circulates in Atlanta is unheard of.
Right.
So because there's so many minorities that own property there. They own businesses, and now those businesses are flourishing. Fucking Tyler Perry bought how many acres? And this nigga turned it into a studio where motherfuckers don't even want to. They're not even shooting it. They're not even shooting in California no more because his prices is up there, but they in California up there. So now every studio shooting over there. Yeah. So now you're green light. Now, not only are you creating a black business source of that's an influx of money, which you created another black billionaire soon. You got to be a billionaire soon.
Soon, definitely.
So if you create that and you create a system where you have black, now he's greenlighting black projects that are being shot there. You understand?
Right.
If he's greenlighting black projects that are being shot there, if he starts going, hey, listen, I'll greenlight situations. I'll film, same way I'm filming these Medea movies and all this shit. I'll film 10 Netflix. You want to pick up my shit? You got to pick up 10 minority projects that you wouldn't normally finance. You wouldn't normally pull up. These black banks need to start sitting there financing black entrepreneurs that they normally wouldn't get financed at a regular bank.
Exactly.
You take a chance on them because they've been putting their money into your system and it enhances this community. You do shit like that. Yeah, you do.
Exactly.
You do shit like that where you enhance the black dollar and it's spent within your own community. Now you create a whole nother dynamic. That's a situation to where y'all don't need these motherfuckers. Then you can go, hey, listen, we have our city. This is self-contained. We ain't worrying about no defund the police. We have our own local police.
Right.
So when we have our own local police, motherfuckers that live in the community, give a fuck about the community. They're not over here bullshitting, whooping niggas' asses, murdering niggas in cold blood. Because guess what? They live in the fucking community. You live there. You live there. You got to be a part of it. You got to deal with this shit. It's it's self-contained.
Exactly.
There's a reason. Dog, you go to these fucking Huckbuck towns and shit, the fucking sheriff, that nigga lives right down the street from y'all.
Sheriff knows everybody.
And guess what?
He
He still arrest niggas on the regular. He's still doing all that. But you want to know the difference? That motherfucker, he ain't in no fear for his life because of the fact that the way that he approaches situations is just because he lives in the community. Yeah. When he goes to go arrest some motherfucker, he's thinking, damn, should I really take this nigga to jail on some bullshit? I see the nigga every day.
Right.
I fuck with him. I know him. That's different. When you create a situation where all these cops live way outside the fucking city. They don't even live in the fucking city. Then they drive over to this place to fucking police the shit and they work every day. But they could wild the fuck out because they don't live there. Yeah. They're not about it. How many cop cars you see parked up at a crib in your neighborhood that's in the same neighborhood? No, never.
It's rarely ever the same.
Exactly. So therefore, they do it. Yeah. So exactly. What?
They stay away. They stay outside of the cities that they're working because they don't want to run into the people that they arrest.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is, when you are forced to run into the people that you arrest, you handle shit on a far more just.
Right, of course. But you know what? All right.
Yeah, we had like 140.
Let's wrap it up. What?
We had like hour 40.
Yo, last thing real quick. So y'all heard they canceled.
Can we pause real quick? Let me use the bathroom.
Cops to show?
Yeah, the cops to show like fucking 30 years later.
You can't pause. Yeah. Or edit this out. You can edit this out, right? Edit this out, yo.
It's crazy. They would have had good footage though with the cops now with all this stuff.
Should have just signed off.
Yeah, I know.
Yo,
I need to.
We out. What are you doing?
It's hour 40. You good?
We out.
Then that's why I'm talking about adding the segments in that I'm talking about.
All right, so
episode 27.
I'm gonna stop it.
Jay Knight.
It's been a very informative episode. A little bit more on the serious note. We didn't get to touch on too much music as per usual, but during a time of civil unrest and all the madness that's going on around us, I think this was a great conversation, very enlightening, and I hope that we were able to educate not only ourselves but also our listeners. And with that being said, shout out to everybody listening. Shout out to I Love UK Music Media Lounge.
Definitely.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram at _Ivy Talks. Make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. Hit that button on the YouTube. Show love, show support. We're growing, we're getting better. And we're going to be here throughout these times. Shout out to my team. Y'all, anything to say? Shout outs, any love to anybody?
Keep your head up, everybody. Episode 27. Look forward to episode 28. Shout out to everybody. Click like, subscribe. YouTube, Ivy Talks.
All right.
Man, Holla Rock. Jay.
Peace.